Hello, and welcome to VenturePoint. We've been away for a little bit, a lot of real-world stuff to deal with, but we are back in our fantasy world once again. Shall we get straight ahead with the recap?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right, because we do need to catch Tom up a little bit. So, when we last saw our party, they had just started to rest in the Leaping Elk Tavern while keeping an eye on Marion, one of their new captives from a smuggling gang called the Procurers. However, midway through the night, Marion made a break for freedom by casting a darkness spell, which enabled her to leap out of a window without being blocked. Chasing immediately and taking some damage in the process, Vossa and Kaelin managed to catch up and stop Marion's escape. However, after some discussion and agreements, she handed across the artifact she tried to take with her and was allowed to leave by horseback in the middle of the night. The party returned to bed and completed their night's rest, and in the morning made their decision to hire some horses and make their way north, with John Johnson, their more cooperative captive, to the cave that the Procurers use as their base of operations. Now, Wildstorm.
Yes.
As you come down to breakfast, your memory is a little hazy of the night before. You remember waking up at one point in the night. You have this vague recollection of Xenophilius flying past a window. And that's about where your memory holds.
Right.
You think back as you're sort of getting yourself awake and ready for the day. And just about pull together the events since you left the airship. You all came down via a little skiff to ambush the Procurer transport. Managed to take 2 of them captive and killed a third. And brought them back to Lee Barrow, the town that you're currently in, to this tavern. And as you go down to breakfast with the rest of them, you can see Kaelin, Vossa, Xenophilius. The woman you remember capturing is no longer there. But a large silver dragonborn is there, chowing down on a plethora of food in front of him.
Right.
Alright. The rest of the morning kind of passes in a little bit of haze. You agree with the rest of them that making your way north to complete this job is probably a good idea. And I think I said at the end of the last game, we'd figure out horse prices at the start of the next one for you hiring to go northward. So, first off, do you guys hire 1 horse or 2 for this cart?
How big is the cart?
So the cart is big enough to hold all of you, but given your weight, 1 horse, especially with a dragonborn on board, 1 horse is going to go fairly slowly unless you're pushing it to its limit.
I would say 2 horses. 2 horses!
There's the voice.
I'm not going to toss it.
She looks so bad.
Little content cat. Okay, so horse hire.
I feel like we're going to kill the horse if we only have 1 horse.
You are not killing any horse. You wanted me to kill a horse last time.
I still think we should have killed the horse.
We've got 1 horse, haven't we? No. Did she go off on it?
She took that horse. Yes, that was the horse she took. So, unfortunately, you are currently horseless.
What price?
Sorry?
What's the price?
Okay, so, if you're talking rental, what I'll probably say, if you're renting it for travel to the next town or out for a day, I'll call it 4 silver. It is a lot more expensive to buy horses outright. but that
Much
is an
are they?
option. A riding horse, or a draft horse costs 50 gold. Riding horse costs 75. So up to you guys how you want to play it, but I imagine the cheaper option might be more favourable.
Pull in 2 horses.
Did we get a discount for 2? Is that like a
No, not if you're renting it.
bulk buying discount?
Can I get a bulk discount on horses, please?
2 horses, please.
No, you can't get any discounts from me. You got to go to Fantasy Costco.
Oh,
Get an email from Costa.
fantasy cost.
Like, see if they've
Fantasy
got
Costco.
What is an email?
It's an elven mail. You wouldn't know about it.
Oh,
we can bulk buy salad cream.
No, we need horses.
Sorry.
I don't think they sell horses at real Costco. Okay, not whole horses. Anyway, I'm not going to get into brand defamation on this channel.
Do we want the ease of borrowing someone else's horse and then giving it back, or do we want the responsibility of having our own?
When you hire a car and you can pick it up at one place and then you can drop it off at another,
That would be the travel to the next town. Yes, so it's
then we
the
would
same
then
cost.
have. But like, do we have to bring it back to this place?
Right. So, no, you don't have to bring it back here. There will be... Essentially, there's enough travel up and down this route that they're fairly confident anyone who's going to the next town, there will be a traveller needing that horse to come back with. So they're fairly confident about keeping a stock of horses, and there's an agreement along this trail at least. If you speak to the table hand, just realise I'm giving you information you don't know. There's an agreement up and down this stretch, essentially, that the stock is kind of shared, the stock of horses, and they act more like just like holding pens, rather than, you know, this horse belongs at this stable.
They have depots.
Yeah, ish.
I'm happy to hire. Less responsibility.
A horse.
Huh?
I will pull that horse.
But that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared I'm going to buy a horse, I'm going to get really attached to it, and then it's going to be like Red Dead Redemption 2 all over again, and my horse will die.
I hope that's not
And I'll be
spoilers.
really sad.
I mean, horses die in every game.
Yeah, I've lost many a horse.
I'd-
Or like, you know, the never-ending story. Trauma from that horse.
I lost Shadowmere. I once got Shadowmere killed, so
I'm just scared that I'll get attacked. But I kind of want to buy a horse.
we're buying a carriage.
You've got the
It's not
car.
your-
You've got the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
it
much
was
does
this.
the cart cost us?
The cart has technically come to you for free because you stole it from the Procurers when you
Stole
captured
it.
them.
Oh, sweet.
If you ask him, I don't know if you will, John Johnson might have something to say about it, but
Johnson, what are your thoughts on all this? Should we buy a horse or should we rent it?
Oh, whether we, like, does John have any claim to the carriage?
Oh,
Because it's sort of, I guess. Well, no, because
he was captain, wasn't he?
he may want it.
the shop was mine. The cart, not technically, it belonged to...
Oh, okay then, we don't care. Let's just rent a horse and off we go, John Johnson.
John just stops talking, just nods. Cool. I am cooperating with you as much as I possibly can.
We already told us what we needed to know.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Oh, do I have water?
Quite frankly, Xenophilius got woken up in the middle of the night, had a fight. No one listened to him. He jumped out a window, did nothing. And like everything happened. He's not in a particularly good mood, let's be frank. So, yeah, he's going to be short, I think.
All right. Yeah,
With that
so
stupid Dragon Ball.
Xenophilius marches out of breakfast off towards the stables.
I want a horse!
Yes, sir. Of course. Did you want to hire one, or were you looking to
Want to
purchase?
hire one? The elf lady inside will be paying for both.
You just point at the tavern, which is like half the town away.
Yeah.
And they sort of look down to you. Oh, all right. I can't let the horse go until you've paid me, but we can show you through, and you can pick one out to hire for the day if you like. 4 silver for a day. Sorry?
I'm going to come out completely unaware of what Xenophilius has just promised and just sort of politely say hello to this person.
Yeah.
Don't forget we need 2.
Do you just say
No.
that as you approach?
Yep.
Cool. John Johnson and Vossa are following behind, and seeing you, sort of elf woman, turn around the corner, she's like, "Oh, that makes sense." And then this dragon was like, "What's going on here?" Your colleague is already in the stables looking for. He said you wanted to hire a horse, and that you would be covering. Was that wrong? I'm sorry. I have to take him at his word. You understand?
Yeah, you'll learn to not.
We need 2.
2 horses. All right. That'll be 8 silver total for the day, or 4 silver per day that you'd like to have them for. And you can
How do I...
return
Sorry.
them. You can return them at any of these towns: Brunswick, Lee Barrow, Etherfall, Barton, if you're going that far the other way.
Where is it we're going?
So the cave that you're looking for is about a half day's travel out from Lee Barrow, unless you're pushing, or would have been with 1 horse. It'll be a bit quicker with 2. So probably like a quarter of a day's travel at normal pace into the woods. Currently, John Johnson is the only one who knows the location in your group.
So are we riding to Lee Barrow and then walking, or
In
are we
Lee Barrow.
riding? Okay, right.
It's between. Let me give you guys the map. I don't know if the
Thank you.
stream needs it, but I'll give it to you guys.
Okay.
So it's somewhere on this stretch here, and you have to sort of go off into the Dragonthroat Woods to find it. All right. In fact, let me center the. It didn't let me center the camera.
And it's
That's weird.
half a day's travel roughly.
Half a day's slow travel. Because it's actually closer to the Lee Barrow end of things.
Okay, so it'd be easier for us to travel there and then just come back to Lee Barrow to give the horses back, unless we're moving on.
Unless you want to then hire them to take them down to Etherfall. Which,
Okay.
if things go quickly, you think you could push the horses and get them back to Etherfall by nightfall, or at least partway through the night if you really went for it. So just bear that in mind in terms of time constraints. All right.
The horses have names.
They can do.
Yes, please.
Okay. So what they probably have is they'd give you the names, or at least the
Number
names
1,
would
number
probably be
2, number 3.
on the bit tackle. Can't remember. The get up basically would be attached to that.
Head collar.
Head collar. I don't know horse
I know
terminology,
nothing.
so essentially what would happen is you'd get the names off that once you'd picked your horses. So they probably have a couple of like dappled grey, one that is mostly brown with a cream sort of back half, one that is a rich dark brown. I'd say these are probably all riding horses, rather than draft. So they look. However, riding horses look different to draft horses. I don't know it off the top of my head.
They look like riding horses.
Yes. As adventurers, you would note that these horses seem good for riding and long travel.
I like the sound of the dappled grey one from a purely aesthetic point of view. I have nothing else to go.
I want the black and grey one. No,
With the cream bottom.
Yeah.
The brown. Okay, brown and cream.
Yeah.
Okay, the brown and cream one is called Bramble.
Oh.
We met Bramble.
Yeah, we met a cat called Bramble.
Oh.
Draft
I'm gonna-
horses are more muscly than riding horses.
So they're big ones like Clydesdales then. Okay, cool. And the dappled grey one would probably be called Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
I like that name.
How many days do you rent them for?
Do we say one and a bit and rush, or just say 2?
We have enough to buy Moonlight.
And also, I don't know how to care for a horse. I mean, does Kaylin? Kaylin probably does. But I
Kaylin
don't.
would, yes. Kaylin would know how to take care of a horse. It would be a slight additional cost in terms of like feed, etc., unless you, for any time that they're not being in a stabled. But there is obviously stable cost as well when you're not obviously housing the horse yourself.
Feels like it would be a dumb decision.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be convenient in some cases, but inconvenient in others. It's not.
Yeah, but you need to think about it. Is it going to cost like 4 silver a night or whatever to look after this horse?
What should it be if I'm like staying at like a tavern somewhere and I've got a fucking horse?
I'm assuming you're asking this all to the stable clerk.
Yeah, more politely put. Though.
Yes, obviously. So that depends entirely on the stable. It tends to be more expensive in big cities.
If I were to rent and then decided I was very fond, could there be a conversation about?
Absolutely, there could. Yeah.
Okay.
What happens if you?
Basically, I'm going to foster this horse.
What happens if you don't bring it back?
I'm going to.
If you don't bring it back, then you technically would go onto the Etherfall Council's bad list for theft of property.
Yeah, I kind of can't do that.
How does a position of privilege work?
Position of privilege?
Yeah.
That's on your sheet,
Yeah.
is it? Let me take a look, because I can't remember the exact wording.
I feel like I haven't been respected by the common people, the common folk.
Okay.
I don't respect you.
Oh, yeah. So, in essence, the reaction you would have gotten from at least the stable hand, just to start there, was immediate deference. They can see that you're dressed well and that you hold yourself well. But there's a little confusion over your demeanor, essentially. So position of privilege would do everything that it does, and she didn't stop you from wanting to hire the horse. She took your word when you said that Kaylin would be paying. And obviously people of high birth would also recognise you've been raised well. However, there's only so much it can do in terms of like your actions and the way you act. All right.
I feel like Xenophilius is like those '90s cartoons. You know, they had that close up of the really detailed animation, like Ren and Stimpy and SpongeBob. You see from afar, like it's just a nice guy, and then you look close to him, he's like,
Yeah. Yeah. That is how I'd say the position of privilege would work for you in that scenario.
okay,
All
that
right.
works.
Cool. So how many days are you hiring these horses for?
Oh.
We need to go. We need to go to the cave. Then we need to return to the fall.
Just half day from here to where we need to get. And it's however long we need to be at the place we need to get, and then it's the journey from there back to Etherfall. So
I
reckon
say 2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
Okie dokie.
2 horses for 2 days.
So 2 horses for 2 days. That will be a gold and 6 silver from whoever is covering.
Fine.
All right. You're given a small little note with a quick stamp that signifies 2 days' rent from this stable, and you're able to redeem this at any of the ones along this particular trail, which, in terms of the full length of it, this trail extends out to Bricklewhite in the north, or Whiteridge if you wanted to go that far inland. Or out to Farncombe in the sort of east-northeast. Alright. So,
How much did that come to again?
it was 1 gold, 6 silver, which Kaelin covered.
What's half of that?
Half of that, 8 silver.
I hand 8 silver to Kaelin.
Thank you. And I just look at the Xenophilius and Vossa like,
Vossa would probably give you... Given that Wildstorm's just given you half, what would the maths work out as for that? It would technically be 2 silver each to Wildstorm and Kaelin to kind of balance her part out, I think. We'll call it that anyway.
Xenophilius will just turn and do a decisively disgusting cough. To
I'm
show.
not going to do it this time. No, it's just...
Oh dear.
I think that one did it more. What?
It's as bad for you guys over the microphone as it is in being sat next to him.
It cuts up for me every time he
Yeah.
does it. I've not heard it once.
It was disgusting.
Please don't do it
They're
again.
not-
Just for
they're not-
Hannah's sake.
They're not real. I just want to make it sure. I'm just going blah 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 in a deep voice.
Okay. Cool. So, you hire the horses. Kaelin, you get this little note. And the 2 horses are brought over and attached to your cart. John Johnson will sort of step forward and go, if, as I'm the one that knows the location, would you like me to drive the cart, or would you prefer for me to guide?
Hey there! I say you sit next to John Johnson.
Can I sit on the horse?
You could. It'd be a bit uncomfortable because of the
Harness.
the harness mechanism.
Yeah, your leg will keep getting stuck
Yeah.
I
between.
don't horses. I haven't ridden a horse since I was probably like 10, and to be honest, in real life they scare me. They're too big.
If you did
You probably, I would say, you could probably get on the horse.
where'd you guys
Yeah.
live? Ish area. Obviously we're live, so don't go give me an address or anything.
we can confirm that for you later.
That's fine.
I think.
We're in a fairly built up area.
Yeah.
So, not not very near us, if that helps, Tom.
Yeah. I was only going to ask because obviously my mum's got horses.
Yeah.
We're far away from
I was
this.
gonna say if they ever visit. Cool. But yeah, you begin. Well, once you decide whether are you getting on the horse, Kaylin?
No.
It'd be uncomfortable. You could probably do it.
Right. Now, the reason John Johnson is asking this is because the front of the cart, while there is a little window to see through to it, as obviously you found with Marion bringing the cart back yesterday, there would only be space for John Johnson on this seat.
I don't feel comfortable with John Johnson being the one to take us places.
Yeah, do we trust him? Obviously, I know we're having this conversation in front of him. And that's nothing against you, John, but we gave Marion a little bit of trust, and it didn't go very well.
You are still our captive after all.
I understand. Like I said, I want to do as much as I can, but I know I got to prove that to you. I just want my shot back.
I'm so confused.
Kaylin, you like the horses? Do you want to ride the
We haven't
Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. In which case, Kaylin, if you could give me an animal handling check as you begin to move the horses out of the town.
Oh,
Please don't crash.
Wait a minute.
like, I completely forgot that, we had to do any
You
sort
have to
of...
roll things, yeah.
Yeah, I
There's-
was like,
There's a
I'll still
chance of failure. Okay, so as these are very well trained horses, they've been along here quite a lot. I'll say it's not that you don't get them under control. It's not that they brack and braid too much. They do a little, and you manage to sort of corral them into, like, here's what we're doing. They do complain when you start going off-road, as John Johnson starts directing you towards the forest. And as a result, you manage to navigate them just about through the forest track. The trees are far enough apart that you're able to steer without worry. But they don't like it, and they are slow going because of it. You manage to reach a point where John is... Hold! I can see it from here. We should probably make our way by foot if we're going in. And by that point, it's been about half a day.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Rather than the quarter you thought it would take.
both guys.
It's alright.
Xenophilis would jump out of the cart a little smug because everyone's doing it by foot, but instead of landing on his feet, he's just gonna hover slightly and just be like, "I'm not gonna do it by feet."
I'm proud of yourself, yeah.
Vossa looks over. So, do we want someone to stay with the cart?
I was going to say.
I say Vossa should.
And if we don't want to take John Johnson in here, I'm pretty sure I can stop him if need be. Got a few spells that can hold him still. So
I say Vossa should stay and look after John Johnson.
I have no input because I can't remember anything.
Would it not be useful to have a dragonborn?
It depends if he's truly going to try and do everything he can for us.
Don't want to make decisions.
I mean, to be
that's this
honest,
game, I'm afraid.
It's what I try and avoid in
Not
real life. Now I'm
Dungeons and
doing
Dragons is decisions and dragons.
Xenophilis will jump up.
driving and decisions.
Xenophilia will shrink and sit on Kaylin's shoulder
Okay.
and whisper into her ear. Sweet nothings. No. Will whisper, he may as well have led us here to our own demise, so he can feast off our corpses. Having a dragonborn may be useful, but is it worth the risk?
You just had a really intense stare.
I know the secret, this conversation is excluding Wildstorm, but there's only one ear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Has he shown us where this cave is? All he
Yes,
said
he's
is, "I can
pointed
see
it
it."
out.
Okay. I'm gonna start heading towards the cave.
Yeah, you can see it up ahead, sort of with the trodden down leaves in front of it.
Using hyperbole.
It's kind of where there's a shift in the ground, and the cave mouth sort of dips down through like a semi-collapsed little cliff, essentially. Only about, you'd say, about 8 feet tall, this little drop that the cave mouth is in, and it's not the biggest of cave entrances.
That's right. I'm 7'2".
So you'll have to duck a little bit. Yeah, he is. Wildstorm is very tall.
How long would your legs be?
I'm trying to work out where Xenophilius comes up.
Yeah.
We'll do the maths on that later, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's not something we need to figure out on stream. Not yet, anyway.
How tall are you?
Can I do some sort of like perception
4'11".
to see if I
4'4".
trust him?
You can make an insight check.
Insight.
If you're reading body language, it's insight.
Oh, but my thing's not as high for that.
I know, but that's how the skills work. The only vibes you've seemed to pull from him so far have been, I want to get my shot back, I want to do the best I can. There's something a bit saccharine about it, but you're not 100% sure that he's shady either. Difficult to tell, especially with what happened with Marion.
Yeah. Can anybody else do some insight checks?
Yeah, if they're wanting to assess him. Wildstorm is headed off already.
I'm a little bit suspicious, I'll be frank.
With a 16 insight, Xenophilus, you've seen people beg for their lives before.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. However, while this isn't the same, there's a level of conviction to this that you've only ever seen in people that are, giving desperate bargains. It's not that he's desperate, but he is determined to let you guys know that he means no harm. He very much does believe what he's saying.
Okay.
Alright.
Rescue him. Like, if it wasn't for us, he'd still be tied up in that car.
That's the thing. He was tied up in the back of the car when
whereas
you guys
Marion
got
came in and fucked her, her shit up.
Xenophilius will do some clicks as he becomes normal size again. To the great scale of 4'4", which is just over half.
So about belly height, shall we say.
Yeah. And says, John Johnson, we could use your skills in this here cave.
Alright. I can point out the trap I know about.
Didn't even know there was a trap. You're useful already.
I will save my breath for when we have them all. It will be easier to keep them sedate if they are frozen still.
Wait, is he sorry. Is he
He's
a ice dragon?
He's a silver dragon. And I think I did have this part of discussion with you before. He's shown you that his breath can create ice crystals at the corner of his mouth.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's fairly common knowledge through folktale, at least, that dragons have big breath weapons. So,
Okay.
all right.
Groovy, cool. Oh my god, Tosca's doing some horror movie eyes down there. Look at that. Oh my god.
I can't see her.
Possessed. Oh, she's gone. She's up here now.
Okay. Okay, I'm Xenophilius has spoken.
Alright. You note that Wildstorm is already approaching the mouth of the cave, and is very quiet as he does so.
So how? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we should approach this with stealth. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Wildstorm's stealth check was chef's kiss.
I'm almost not sure I should stealth check.
We just leave you behind. Oh, mine's not great. My rolls have been there.
They will change. It always fluctuates.
That's
Okay.
better.
So, Xenophilius.
I kind of wish I didn't do stealth at all. I probably would have had a better luck.
You're just walking normally.
Yeah.
So, what I'll do is I will start the description, and you can chime in with how you think Xenophilius would fail the stealth. All right, there's a point at which I will do it automatically, but I'll give this to you for this one.
All I'm gonna say, mousetrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wildstorm begins making his way inside, followed by Kaelin and Xenophilius. And John Johnson, who I hadn't actually expected you to bring in. So he's going to have Voss's token for the moment.
I feel like I'm uneased by the fact that you didn't anticipate us bringing him.
You guys really didn't trust him. I assumed you'd try and leave him in the cart somewhere, or
Was this a
bind
mistake?
him or something.
What's the insight? My insight.
Your insight was pretty good.
Impeccable.
Your insight was pretty good.
What can I say?
But he might be
insightful.
good at deceiving.
Mm.
Ugh.
You don't know. You don't know.
Oh,
What?
Alex gave it all away or not. Not a little.
Did I?
No. Well, you did there.
No, I find Alex very hard to read and I don't like it.
I mean, I specifically try to be hard to read, so it's good that it's working.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Most of my players hate this, that I just go completely glaze face. Either that or I laugh at everything, so then you don't know what I'm laughing at. Okay. Gonna need a minute or so for Tom to come back, I think.
Okay.
Because we are doing the sneaky sneak. Unless, Kaelin, you want to head up the front.
Don't.
Up to
All
you.
honesty.
Or Xenophilius, you could if you wanted.
No.
You can't stop him if he shrinks down, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm sure she could.
Well, she could try.
I mean, no one's done that yet. He's shrunk enough times that no one has tried to catch him. So actually, Hannah, you've just given Alex the idea.
Uh-huh.
Look at that face.
I don't know what you mean.
So now
You don't know what I'm
he's
thinking.
gonna be a big boy.
Yeah.
Gonna do a spell wrong and end up 8 foot. 8 foot. 8 foot Xenophilius with his 8 feet big.
Interesting note. If you are above 8 foot, you are counted as a large creature.
I mean, logically, he must be able to grow, right?
Not past... he'd probably have tried this during his travels. He is not able to grow past the 4'4" mark.
Ah, so he's
He's as big as he gets.
So yeah, if he got to 8 foot, he'd be like almost double in height. You wouldn't be able to control his limbs. He wouldn't know what he was doing.
There is a spell called Enlarge Reduce. Just so you know, I can't remember if it's on either of your spell lists.
I want
Hannah,
that spell.
he's already gone inch
You
from
want
an
some?
inch
I want
to a
that spell.
4
I
foot.
want that spell.
Sorry about that. I'm back now.
That's all right. So back on the rails. Wildstorm. While the others discussed things, you made your way quietly down into the cave mouth.
And then looking at the roll, Xenophilius comes clanging in behind me.
Currently, Xenophilius, I'm giving Dylan the opportunity to ruin this for you guys, because I think it'll be funnier than whatever I can come up with. So at some point in the next little bit, Dylan will come up with something, I'm sure.
Okay.
Oh god, the pressure's on me now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have something in mind if you don't. All right.
Can I see anything that
So
jumps out?
as you come down into this rough stone tunnel, you can tell that there is movement through here from the tracks in the ground below. You can see leaves further into the tunnel than there would be if they weren't brought in there on shoes, etc. You can see up ahead of you. In fact, I need to give the stream the map. There we go. You can see what looks like a barricade against the other wall up ahead of you. The cave itself seems to, from here, go naturally round to the right, but there are a couple of other split-offs which look like they're being blocked by these barricades. Alright. I'll give you... You are able to move ahead a little bit, Wildstorm, without alerting anything. Alright. Kaylin, are you hurt at the minute? Worth checking
From
the
the
character sheet.
Thing.
From the...
I never healed?
You would have, because you'd have finished your long rest, yes. Alright. Because you haven't been hurt today.
Yeah. Should have changed?
Sorry?
I should have changed it.
Yep, looks good. Alright.
It's not updated on mine. But yeah.
Yeah, it's updated for me. Does mean everyone on stream knows your hit points, but I don't mind that. Okay. So yeah, you can see now, yeah, the cave itself naturally goes around to the right, but there are a couple of these upper levels. Kaylin, you can see from there a few more barricades off to the right.
I can see spikies too.
And Wildstorm
Yeah.
can as well. John Johnson, I can't remember offhand whether Dragonborn get dark vision. I think they do.
I think they do as well. I seem to remember Nathan having it.
Yeah, one of our other players.
Previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragonborn.
Wrapped.
She's
No, they don't.
Oh.
Which is interesting. Yeah, so to get too far in here, Xenophilius and John Johnson, you can't see much past the entrance of this cave, so you're going to need to make some form of light.
Thing is,
Yeah.
Xenophilius made his first step towards the cave. However, unaware, a branch had been somehow caught under the dirt and was sort of bent down. Him stepping on it causes the branch to swing up, throwing Xenophilius into a dead tree, which falls over onto another dead tree, which falls over onto another dead tree, and then he falls off these dead trees, rolls down the cave, making clackering and clittering with everything he's got on him, before hitting the barricade with a big smash.
Okay. Because you're hitting the barricade, take 1 point of piercing damage.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm honestly happy with that.
But yeah, you roll all the way into the barricade. The rest of you, with your passive perceptions, you not only hear John Johnson starting to make a light, like starting to click stuff together for lighting a torch. You also hear the series of noises before Xenophilius comes past you, Wildstorm, into the barricade. And you hear the series of noises. Xenophilius goes flying into the barricade, and then there's from further in the cave. What in the bloody hell was that?
It was just your imagination.
Wildstorm and
you can
Kaelin, you
get
have a
a joke.
chance to react to this.
I'm gonna slap him upside the head. Shut up!
Just like, because are you now in front of me, or are you?
Yeah, I'm the one in front.
Just give quite a hard stare. I'm not gonna say anything, but like,
Well,
So-
look.
well, luckily for Xenophilius, it's completely pitch black, so
Don't
he's
you
just
worry.
standing.
Don't you worry, because John Johnson at this point lights a torch, because, you know, there's enough sound at this point that they know you're here. So, Xenophilius, you suddenly just see, illuminated from behind, Kaelin giving you the darkest stare, and Wildstorm looking over like, what was that?
No.
You begin to hear footsteps, not only from the right-hand side, but also from the left-hand side. You begin to hear like barking from inside, further inside the cave.
Know what to do.
Xenophilius finds his composure. He's got his crossbow out.
Okay.
He's aiming at nothing he can't necessarily see, but he's aiming.
Okay. John Johnson is coming down the corridor at this point, which obviously will shift the light that you can see by. Wildstorm and Kaelin, if you want the chance to hide, you can, and I'll let you keep your current stealth checks.
I am going to hide.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna hide. Soz lads.
Okay. So, Wildstorm and Kaelin, if you want to pick somewhere quickly to hide in that vicinity, I'd imagine you'll both tuck round the corner towards the right. Yeah, there.
Kaelin's really hidden.
And Xenophilius, you hear a brash dwarven woman call out through the darkness. Hey! What the fuck are you doing in here? And starts to make their way towards you. Okay.
I just got a bit lost. Sorry about that. You know how these caves are, always leading one way or the other.
Make me a deception check.
Ooh.
God, if you could talk your way out,
Go
of
on.
it, that'd be amazing.
Could be worse.
13. Okay. The woman looks you up and down. Listen, you old fuck. These caves aren't for meandering.
Oh, could you
On your
Perhaps-
way.
could you perhaps lead me on the way out? I seem to have gotten myself stuck and lost.
I don't give a shit about you. You can stay there and die for all I care. As long as you make your way out somehow, whether it be physically or spiritually, you can get the fuck out of our cave. She just huffs, turns around, and walks in the other direction. Not that you can see that, but the rest of you hear footsteps moving away.
Alright. Well, I guess Xenophilius can just sort of stay there his
Mhm.
attempted plan for her to follow him so she could get ambushed failed. But he tried.
Yeah. You hear just about Xenophilius, but the rest of you are a bit clearer. Don't worry, false alarm, old codger wandering through the woods. And all of you now hear a shout through the cave. Roger, shut the fucking wolves up, we're fine. And the barking gradually ceases.
Individual voices have we heard too?
You've heard one. Just this dwarven woman.
Just that one woman.
I thought no, you need two. You said we would have two. There was the one woman, and then the person just tell the wolves to be quiet.
No, that was the same
Talking
voice.
to Roger. Oh, okay.
Same
But we
voice
can-
talking to Roger.
Is
You
Aw.
get this distinct feeling that whoever that was is calling the shots around here at the minute. There was a very commanding nature to that last shell. Alright.
What now?
Up to you guys.
Well, you're still good and stealthy, so you can go and.
Thankfully, John Johnson took the sensible decision to move closer to the mouth of the cave so that the torchlight didn't look like an external light. But he now begins to make his way back in as quietly as he can, which is actually pretty good.
What is our purpose here? Why are we here? Remind me, not Wildstorm. Maybe Wildstorm.
You are here to capture these people.
So we need to frozen.
so we
These
need
are-
to remember.
These are
Capture.
criminals that you're here to apprehend for a promised total to the group of 1,500 gold.
Ooh, money.
Yeah,
I could buy a horse with that, couldn't I?
you absolutely could. Yeah.
You and horses.
I actually really don't like them in real life.
Yeah. Kaelin, though.
You dislike.
They're just too big.
Yeah, up to you how you want to proceed.
Oh, I'm scared. I like stealth. I'm a fan of stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Dun 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 dun
Just
dun.
Okay.
try and figure out a bit more before we do anything. I think would be good.
Okay.
Xenophilius, maybe hang back.
Yeah, Xenophilius will go and just.
John
Sit.
Johnson, yeah, will stay around with you to make sure that everything's okay. And at Kaelin, as you pass, because obviously you're not hidden to him, because you're walking through the cave mouth and he knows you're there, he'll say, "Look, there's an opening. There's an opening on the left-hand side. There's a tripwire at the bottom. That raises the alarm. We'll only get that lucky once."
Let's go. On the
Alright.
left.
So yeah, Wildstorm and Kaelin, I'm happy for you to keep your stealth checks for now because you were not discovered. Alright.
Ninja roll.
Wildstorm just like Sonic across the caves.
Xenophilius will just be pretending to play a pipe on a stick he's on the ground. Good board.
So which way am I going?
So the trap that he mentioned is through this tunnel, and you can see it as you look over. It's this very thin glint across the ground. You've seen them before, just of a tiny little fishing wire tripwire.
I can see a person.
Where? Oh. She can't see you because she's facing the other direction.
Good. I'm gonna.
But you see that she is very much sort of settling herself back down at the table, and facing the opposite way. All right. Have I lost sound, or is everyone just quiet?
It is quiet.
We're just quiet.
Super
We're still
tense.
here.
See if I can get some atmospheric noises.
Where's this trap?
It's pretty much where Kaylin is, but Kaylin is able to highlight it to you, so you're able to avoid it.
So I'm gonna step over it.
What I'll say is that you two know it's there, so unless you are rushing through this area, you will not set that off.
I'm
Is
definitely not rushing.
Xenophilius needed for like 5 minutes?
Are you gonna go feed the
Probably
cat?
not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay.
I think these two are on a stealth adventure.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, you've passed areas with lots of sort of barrels of storage and stuff. Up here, you can see what looks like almost a relaxation area and a cooking area, with a campfire that is currently lit. You get the scent, you get the smell as you come through this tunnel, like hits you properly, of like baked bread. You gather that this is probably fresh made.
Amazing.
Yeah, and there is a natural cave pond with what looks on the other side to be a chest. And off to the left, obviously, you can see the cutway through to a sleeping area, which has the table that the dwarven lady is sat at in the same room. There is a hammock up here as well, that's what that is. Okay.
Believe. She's facing away from us.
She is currently facing away from you, yes.
Oh no, that's somebody else though.
Yeah.
We throw something or do something that would draw. I don't know.
I can't make these choices for you.
Wildstorm, what?
You tell me what to do. Yeah.
Right, what have I got on me?
Obviously, Wildstorm, if there's anything you want to do in the meantime, just let me know.
How much noise does it make when I draw a tarot card?
Barely any.
So I can do it stealthily.
Yes, although what I will say is probably there's an innate verbal component as the card dissipates. So you could pull the card, but as the card activates, there would be a sound, and there would be there's usually like an instinctive mumble under your breath that the card almost like makes you do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The card is like drawing the magic out of you as a focus to do what it needs to do. Okay. It could be done stealthily, but it's not going to be something that's like automatically stealthy. You'd have to roll for it.
We know there's two. Well, as far as we're aware, there's only one person here, so...
You are aware of the dwarven woman, yep, and you're aware of someone called Roger, I believe, who they called out to. And wolves, obviously.
And wolves
Yeah, you
of
heard
an
bark
unknown
wolves.
number.
So, we either go in all guns blazing, or try and deal with this side as quietly as possible, without raising any more alarms.
I think that option is better, because it could then all go to shit and we end up going in guns blazing, but we might be able to take out even just one person without it.
But she seems to be the boss, and that's probably for a reason.
There is someone sat opposite her at that table.
Oh, I can't see that from where I'm stood.
Yeah, I moved ever so slightly and there is somebody else there.
you would have seen, I believe, half elven man opposite the table. On the other side.
So we'll be looking in our general direction. Don't know what to do now.
At this point, while you have a think, John Johnson sort of makes his way down to you, Xenophilius. It's like, I think it's best that we move forward, but slower. Instead, to stay away from the main bulk of it. You can fly. You can probably get in there fairly quickly over the barricades, but I can't.
Would I need to stealth check to do that?
You would, yes.
I don't want to stealth.
Okay.
I suppose, yeah, if you set off any alarms,
There
I
is-
So I
lose my
There is
shit.
always the option of creating a distraction.
could I get? No, I can't. So if I saunter in,
Could this pretend to still be just a bumbling old man?
well,
Obviously,
Pretend.
yeah, Xenophilius will need to make this plan himself, unfortunately. But yeah,
No.
yeah. You would know tactics-wise that you are now known to them as a bumbling old man.
okay. Xenophilius.
This cat's getting impatient.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Xenophilius is going to decide on his own to saunter in, knowing about the tripwire, so avoiding it,
Okay.
and being like, "You wouldn't happen to have a cup of tea for an old man, would you?" Oh. As he like sort of jumps up on the table. He's very loud. He gets
Okay.
into the room.
So what? You're going through the tunnel with the tripwire, activating it, and then
No.
round to the table, or you
Avoiding
avoiding the
it.
tripwire?
Avoiding the tripwire because I know
Yeah.
it's there.
John would point that out to you as well while he's down there. So.
Yeah, because I imagine, yes, me accidentally cutting a tripwire may make them not on alert, but I imagine there are other precautions rather than just them being aware. So I would stand over the tripwire and sort of drunkenly make a loud noise in the center of the room.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you want to pick which room? So you'd be able to make it with the light down here, which is with the level of light. Actually, thinking about it, you'd be moving in darkness there, so they wouldn't be able to see you behind the barricade. And then
Can I just not walk into here?
into where?
Here. To like
Oh,
here.
you can. You can fly over the barricades in there. Yeah.
And just sort of stand on the table, just drop on the table.
God, this sucks.
Okay. So, are you flying in full form or shrunk? Just so I know.
Oh.
This is a consideration I need to take into account.
No, because I know exactly what you're gonna do. But
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's a fly.
Xenophilius, just because I'm curious, Xenophilius will shrink his entrance, and then above the table, basically
Same
in
thing
front
as you
of
did in
him.
the library, just bamf out and drop on the table.
Yes.
Okay. Because you were shrunk and flying over, this does take them by surprise because there is not a big body for them to see flying over the barricades. So you just suddenly hear, "Fucking! What the fuck is going on?" And this dwarven lady pulls out an axe, I believe she has.
I think you did mention an axe.
Yeah. And we're going to need to roll initiative, everybody.
Oh.
Oh, let me get the initiative tracker up first.
too slow. I don't mind. You're gonna put. Oh, it did work. That's fine.
It's gonna be long. So everyone gets disengaged around him.
Oh, I still have the old ones on here. Why do I have the old ones? And by the old ones, of course, I don't mean Cthulhu. Okay, so Kaelin Wildstorm, I need a roll for. Okay. Again, my apologies for not having this done.
Sorry, while you're doing this, I'm just going to go take my tablet.
Okay.
Oh, who doesn't love slightly off-brand Pokemon music?
It's not even Pokemon music, but I can see where you're coming from.
That's why I'm saying it's slightly off-brand. Why stretch your legs out?
I'm never playing that again, honestly.
Yes, you are.
It really hurts.
I know, but you don't want to do that because you're adding more tension to you. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's literally just getting up, getting down, walking.
Okay. And then a roll from.
No, I'm going first.
I don't know actually. So's the dwarf lady. She's got 20.
She's going first, so she's probably gonna.
You'll get absolutely decimated.
Yeah, yours is technically 20.12 because of your Dex mod. Alright.
But currently, none of them know.
So, the way I will say it is, because you're taking them by surprise, you will get an action off before they do. Okay? And what I will say, I'll be very, very generous with this, I'll be happy for you to be one space up from where you currently are and still have done what you did, so that you're not at disadvantage doing anything ranged like Firebolt, if you'd like. Because I can't remember what melee abilities you have.
I have a quarterstaff,
Okay.
and I have a two-handed quarterstaff.
Alright, so yeah, you're going
And
to
I
do
don't
those,
know.
yeah?
I could.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move John Johnson on the initiative count 0. Oh, super prepared DM. Right, so Xenophilius, you have a surprise turn, so you have action, bonus action, and movement if you'd like it. Then it's Brilliant, or the Dwarven Lady. I need to not call them by their names. And then you have another turn, okay? It's all you, buddy.
Fuck 'em up.
Can I attack whilst moving?
So the way it usually works is you can do a bit of movement, attack, and then do a bit of movement. But functionally, that's just like the mechanics of it. Flavor-wise, absolutely you can attack while moving. But just functionally, you need to break it down into this amount of movement, attack, this amount of movement. Alright? He's muting himself and making battle plans. This is dangerous.
That's naughty.
Oh. You know the Ralph Wiggum meme? I'm in danger!
Yeah. Oh dear. I mean, we're pretty good at knowing what's not canon. I'm sure we'd be okay listening to this.
Making secret plans.
How dare they?
Because I don't want to make sure I'm not doing a dumb thing.
Okay.
I am going to use Firebolt. You just. Oh,
Move
You
on,
know what?
move on. What are you doing?
Yeah, you do your thing. Do your
Do
thing.
your thing.
I don't want to make a new character.
It'll be
Just
fun.
do the thing. It'll be alright.
Xenophilius will use Firebolt
Okay?
against Dwarven Lady who screamed at him and he didn't like it.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, that's why I'm drinking it quickly. What do I need to do? Roll
Firebolt
20.
is an attack roll, plus your spell
Ooh.
attack bonus.
Does he have advantage at all?
You would, because it's a surprise round, yes.
There you go.
You
I'm
won't,
just
you won't
clicking.
next turn, but you will this turn.
Nothing has. Oh, there it is.
Unfortunately, with the shout, you just get so spooked that it flies wide. Unfortunately, sort of bats against the existing torch and just boosts the flame in it a little bit. You still have a bonus action or movement if you'd like it.
Oh, I do. I shall move into the corner by their beds.
Okay.
How far can I move back?
You've moved 5, 10, 15 there. I can't remember what your full movement is. Is it 30 or 25? 30. So another 15 if you want.
Okay.
Which is 3 squares. Yeah.
I don't have the squares for some reason.
They're very faint.
You don't.
No, I do.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, they're incredibly faint. I try to make them non-disruptive, but still visible
Yeah.
if you look for them.
Cool. I have made my movement.
Okie dokie. It is now the Dwarven Lady's turn. And she pulls out this. Let me check what weapon she actually has on the stat block that I'm using for her. It is a scimitar, but it's almost shaped like an axe at the end. I'll say it that.
Okay.
So she pulls this out. It's like, go get Roger. I can probably take this guy, but no promises. And she's going to run around the corner. What?
She should probably take him, but she's not sure.
You've just done magic, which she wasn't expecting from a bumbling old man, and appeared out of nowhere. So you have abilities she doesn't know. 5, 10, 15, 20. And she's going to take a swing at you.
She's gonna get a 0.
That's not possible.
Well, she's
She
gonna get
doesn't
one.
have a negative to this, unfortunately. That is cocked.
Don't believe you.
What?
If you're done,
I'm sure.
that's a.
It was a 2. I think I
No,
saw.
it's a 24 to hit you. Does that hit you?
Wait, hit by what?
Armor class. It needs to
Yeah.
meet or exceed your armor class. I'd imagine it
Wow.
hits.
I got a 14.
Yeah, so it does hit, I'm afraid. You take, with that one, it's not in the tray. That's not in the tray either, that's in fact on the floor now. This is not going well. There we go. Right. Third time lucky. Nope, on the floor again.
If it's a low number on the floor, you're allowed to take it.
No, it's not, I'm afraid. It is a lower number once I've got it into the tray. That is 4 slashing damage that you take. Okay?
4. Okay. Oh wait, I got.
For anyone who's bothering to track this at home, and obviously you guys please don't, I'm using an edited Bandit Captain stat block. That is going to be her turn. She hasn't got anything else. She still hasn't seen you guys, which is good for you, because it means you'll get advantages on your attacks. Alright? Xenophilius, it is back to you.
Is it?
Get her.
I do not think it's a good idea for me to try anything, really. Half health, Hannah.
Your half health. Can you run away and then shoot her?
Engage.
Can I?
So, you can run away. If you use your action to disengage, you can, without incurring an attack from her. If you don't do that, if you don't use your action to disengage, i.e. if you want to attack, then you would take an attack from her as you leave.
If I was to go near Wildstorm and Kaelin, would I destroy their stealth?
No, because you being near them doesn't matter. It's if the others come round the corner and see them. If the enemies come round and see them, that's when it
Yeah, but I'm
makes their
thinking, say if thingy follows me around the corner and I'm by them, that would ruin their stealth.
stealth. Yes.
Oh.
They would then get spotted and it would ruin their stealth, yes.
So anywhere around this corner will they get spotted?
Well, if they're facing that direction. If you moved off towards the chest, they would keep looking in your direction. But obviously, yeah, bear in mind the disengaging versus taking an opportunity attack thing. Alright.
I'll leave.
And
Can
obviously
you see my ruler?
You'd have to go around that. Yeah, everyone can see that.
Yeah.
You'd have to go around that pillar in the middle that's blackened. As a tip, I think it works with the new measure tool. If you click and drag with the ruler and then right click while still holding it, it makes a point that you can then, do that with.
They have 20 movement.
They moved 20, that doesn't mean that they have 20 movement. They might just not have used their last bit. Alright.
I want to move away.
Okay. Are you going to use your action to disengage?
Yes.
Okay. Then you are able to move without them taking a hit. Without taking a hit from them. All right. Come. She sort of looks over, like trying to swing at you as you leave. Just like, stay fucking still, old man.
I'm alright, thank you!
Alright. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yep.
Now I think she said to the other one to go get Roger.
Yep.
So it's going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Where's John going?
No, he'd run. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, he can't make his way through there without squeezing, so he'll stop there. Cool. Alright, that's his turn. Kaelin with Wildstorm up next.
Is thingy.
She's behind the pillar.
Yeah. So you'd have
She
heard...
doesn't know about me.
Sorry?
She doesn't know about me.
No.
No.
She doesn't know about you.
I go here. Can I try and do my turn like very quickly? So literally shoot, like move out, shoot her, and then run away and hide again.
Yes, you have the action economy to do that. You've got 15 feet movement forward
Right.
to be able to see her, and then shoot with your action, dash back, and hide with a bonus action. Yeah. That hits. Roll me some damage.
It's on there, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it does. Yeah, sorry. I forget that you've got it set.
No. I'm going to
Okay.
hide again.
Now she knows where you are.
No.
But as soon as she hides again,
Yeah, but she'll know the direction.
The direction it came from, yeah.
Yeah, but that could be anywhere. That's still 50-50. Also, she knows where you are as well.
Yeah, I know.
So don't get too excited.
Okay, so... Okay, so Kaylin, you watch your arrow sink into the back of her shoulder, and just before she comes back around, you duck back and hide. It's like,
So she could think it's still this dickhead
and
it's magic.
what the fuck? And you see her start reaching around to try and pull it out.
Well, don't pull out arrows if you get shot.
Also, could you die from blood loss by the end of this if she pulls out the arrow?
Who knows? This is fantasy, so it's not strictly accurate all the time.
Alright. I don't know, I feel like it.
Kaylin, if I can get another stealth check from you, because you've broken your
Oh,
stealth and now
I
you have
used
to
to
hide.
forget. You have to, yeah. Oh.
Alright,
Is it?
Yeah, it's not alright. This is what I
you'll
get scared
get
of.
there. The more you play, the more you'll get into the rhythm of it.
I'm cool with it. It's fine.
You
We're
disappear.
good.
Yeah, Wildstorm, you're not sure where she's gone. Speaking of Wildstorm, that makes it your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast Blade Ward on myself
Blade Ward, alright.
as a precaution.
Is that a bonus action? Or an action?
I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it is action. Hmm. Does that only last one round? I might actually draw a card.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
disappeared behind the shadows.
That's alright. I think I can move it as DM. There we go. The construct. What's the construct do?
On the is it the same as one of constructs?
Yes, that would be one of constructs.
An animated shield materializes from the basically, it's doing what bloody Blade Ward would have done.
I mean,
Although,
good.
well, it's slightly different. Animated shield materializes from the illustration on your card. The shield leaps in front of you and hovers in your space to protect you from incoming attacks, giving you a +4 bonus to AC.
Nice. +4 bonus to AC. That's pretty good. So, you draw this card. It fizzles out in your hand, and this murmur from you. And what happens is the illustration of the head on that card with the halo grows to become a spectral shield that floats in front of you. Alright. So you have +4 to your AC for, is it this round or is it for a minute? Or
It's for 1 minute? Yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute. Alright, so +4 to your AC for the next minute. 10 rounds. Go. What are you going to do? That was your action. You have movement and bonus action.
I'm just going to make myself known. Well, somewhat.
Yeah.
You're not going to use your advantage to smite the.
I have no actions left.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to be able to see them, but not them. Actually, if I go back round this way. Oh, I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
Not far from where I was, but I'm going to go here.
Okay. So you're just staying there, yeah?
Yep, I have a battle plan.
Okay. Because there is some murmuring involved in the card, and there's a little bit of sound for the card casting. You would hear her go, "There's a second one," and she is aware roughly of where you are. Okay. So you are known, which is good. Okay, next is the Dwarven Lady. She's going to say, "Scratch that, Vankaril! It's a trap!" And she is... Evens, it's going for her original target, which is Xenophilius.
No, we're going for Kaylin. I think
They
you mean.
don't fucking exist.
10, Now, she has to wade through the water if she goes in the water, and there's no other way to get to you.
It's like a
So
bear
that
hunt.
costs double movement for her. 5, 10, 20.
The kid.
She is going to have to dash to get to you. I don't know what you are, you old man, but I don't believe you're bumbling any longer.
He is still bumbling. I would like to make that note.
What's it called? Drunk master.
Oh, what, the monk subclass?
Oh, you drunk mark? No, it's a real thing.
Oh, sure.
It's part of like sword fighting. You pretend it's what Yoda did. Basically, it's a real thing.
Right. Oh, you pretend that you're not able to hold a sword to lull into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there is a monk subclass in 5th edition which does the exact same thing. I don't know if it's homebrew or not. I'm sure I've seen it.
That sounds like a fun one to play.
I mean, who knows? You might multi-class Wildstorm. So yeah, she dashes through this water like to try and get at you, but she's not able to get to you before you're able to react. Alright. Xenophilius, it is your turn.
Okay.
Right.
I guess we're playing cat and mouse.
A little bit.
I'm over here now.
You disengaging again?
Yeah.
Alright. As you fly around as she swings, she's like, oh, fuck's sake!
That's really funny. Can we just do this or leave me?
I mean, from what I can tell, yes. I have.
She might have some tricks up her sleeve.
I have found my Dark Souls role.
Alright, that's the end of your turn, yeah?
Can I do anything else?
If you've got anything that costs a bonus action, yes. Which drinking a healing potion does if you're drinking it yourself. If you've got one.
I think it's not a bad idea to do, mate, if you've got one.
I have a prayer book and I pray.
I mean,
Healing.
you could.
Isn't that one? Oh, 0.
I've got 0.
Well, yeah, any potion. This is a house rule that I like from other games. Any potion that you're drinking yourself costs a bonus action. If you're applying it to someone else, it's a full action.
Ugh,
Right.
I've got one, mate, but I also want to shoot her.
I would shoot her.
Yeah, I want to shoot her.
Yeah.
And I have a bedroll.
Okay. Cool. I'll move on to the next one then. You heard as Vankarel. You hear a shout that you can't quite discern down the other direction, and then footsteps quickly rushing back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 as he rushes past the table and back into sight, heading towards Wildstorm since you are now visible with this floating shield. He was pulling out a scimitar. Okay? That is the entirety of what they can do. So, Kaylin, with Wildstorm up next.
Am I still not visible to her?
So she was headed towards Xenophilius and then has turned the other direction, back round to see him go that way, because of the direction he went. So she has not spotted you yet. You have advantage.
Oh, she is getting shot. Can I reach from there? Yeah.
Yep.
Quick, and try and piss off so she can't see me.
You're gonna have to do another stealth check.
Fine. My stealth is good. I'm running away.
17, I believe, will hit.
I hope so.
It does. So another 7 piercing damage. She does note where the arrow came from, and then you tuck back and try to hide again.
She's behind a wall though, so does.
So she is behind a wall. As this is a failure, though, what I'll say, they all know you're here, so this isn't a natural one situation. You step on the tripwire, and a little bell rings.
A little bell.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's literally a bell to alert them that you're there.
Good, great.
Yeah.
Well done.
You instinctively react like, is there an arrow or something that's going to shoot at me? There's nothing. It's just a little bell, and you spot it like up and to your left. All right.
I get excited thinking there's a toy around.
Okay. I think there's a toy. I love it.
I'm a cat.
I know. I said I love it. Okay, so that is your turn. Deal the damage, because I didn't actually add that to their character sheet, and that would be unfair to you guys to not do. There we go. She's looking pretty hurt now. Two arrows sticking out of her.
Where?
Ooh, sorry, carry on.
Where is John Johnson?
John Johnson, actually, I said was moving on 0, wouldn't he? So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. He would probably be approaching this corridor, see Kaylin come in, and is like, oh, and not go through. All right, so that's where it is, basically.
Okay.
He's on 0 again. He's like, I can't go through there. I'm just gonna wait here. I'm gonna hold my action to frost breath if someone gets close, or try and whack him.
So we need. Wait. Sorry. He's What do you think?
He
Here.
basically, yeah. No, not quite.
If you look on mine,
Here.
he's here behind me.
Okay.
You don't know that because you can't see him.
But I vaguely know where the door is, and I know he's coming.
You know where the door is, and you know he was headed in that direction. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
He was trying to save his frost breath for if you guys got them all together.
Oh, we don't want to kill them, remember?
I know.
I'd forgotten. I just get very bloodthirsty.
It happens to the best of us, don't worry. Okay, it is the dwarf's turn, who now looks over Wildstorm, who is within view just about, Xenophilius, and hears the ringing of the bells. Do not steal enough to be paid enough for this shit. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Gets up to Wildstorm with her movement. That's a dash, so she can't attack either. Xenophilius.
Good, dude.
Can I move and attack, or can I only attack or move?
You can do both. An attack is an action. Movement is counted separately. You can use action to dash, which doubles your movement, but as standard you get movement separate to your actions. Alright?
In which case, I want to use. What is better, firebolt or crossbow?
Which one has the higher to hit? Here's the answer. So that's either the attack bonus, which should be on your sheet if you clicked and dragged the weapon in the middle and where the attacks are, or the spell attack bonus, which is on your spell sheet.
I must have written it in.
So for a crossbow, I think it would usually be, if you're proficient with them, it would be your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity bonus.
I'm just gonna go safe with what? Wait, firebolt is ranged, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go safe and firebolt.
So round the corner and yeah.
No, sorry.
Oh, you're attacking the other one.
Yeah.
Because I say you can't see the dwarven lady from there. With a 10, I don't think that hits. I think their AC is slightly higher than that.
Nah, you're.
Would it set the table on fire though? Because that's wood.
It would if he hit the table. Specifically targeted it to catch it alight, yes.
Okay.
What have I missed?
If you miss, usually I would say it like glances and disperses too much to catch, unless it's a 1.
Okay.
Alright. With a 10, unfortunately, that does miss, and it just sort of careens past them. I think in this scenario, because it's closer, they manage to duck out the way as it sort of flies past, it hits the back wall instead.
Okay, and then I wanna get out of
Okie dokie.
back to the Vasa.
Okie dokie. Alright. The other person, seeing that their boss is approaching this cat that's got a shield, is going to come over and has advantage because of flanking. Alright, it's going to make an attack on you, Wildstorm.
Wing it.
That's pretty high. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits. Even with my fancy shield.
You take 4 slashing damage. Alright.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and that is all they can do. So Kaelin and then Wildstorm.
I'm gonna come here.
Okay, yeah. Dash around the fire, yeah. And if you're attacking melee, you will have advantage. Yeah, 23, that hits. 4 piercing damage as you sort of catch her in the back.
Is that not gonna take her out yet?
Nope.
I'm really sick of.
She's very hardy.
Yeah, I can tell.
We don't want to kill her, remember?
Yeah.
I know, but like I want her unconscious, and then I'm gonna dash it.
Okay.
Can we flank? Anna and I.
Yeah. So flanking happens if you are on opposite sides of an enemy to one of your allies.
Uh-huh.
That was my plan earlier, but then
You know, if I stay there, the
Don't
wild
mess it
storm
up.
can flank.
Yes.
Yes.
As long as he's
ignore
doing
that.
something melee, he can, yes.
I'm
Alright,
gonna stay there. I may regret this.
we'll see. Wildstorm, it is your turn then.
Get her.
I'll try. I can. 17.
17 hits.
I did that used to get.
5 piercing damage.
5 piercing damage. How do you want to take her down?
Don't kill her.
Not fatally.
Okay, so you kind of use the dagger to pull her off balance, and as she hits the ground, in fact, she's right next to a table, like her head clonks on the side of the table and she is knocked out before she hits the floor. You can see that she's stable, she's not bleeding out, but she is out of the fight. Alright.
Nerd.
Now we've just got to get the guy that's got an AC higher than 12.
That was the one that had an AC higher than 12, believe it or not.
What? So the other guys is lower?
The other guys,
'Cause
you
We haven't attacked
I-
him.
haven't attacked him enough.
I have. I just assumed I didn't hit him because you didn't say anything.
What? When?
The last turn, heavy crossbow. I got rolled a 12.
I missed
some
that
piercing damage.
entirely. Okay, yeah, you hit him last turn. Cool. I'll add that damage to it. It was a pretty bad shot as well in terms of his health. He's looking pretty wounded from it already. But he was stepping up to you to engage. Still. Right, sorry about that. I completely missed it. My bad.
Right. It was. I rolled it as Dylan started asking those questions, so I was going to say it afterwards, and then it just kind of moved on.
Sorry.
So I was like,
No, that's my bad.
That's right.
Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to do this turn? That you can do?
No.
No. Alright.
So I don't want the attack of opportunity.
Fair enough. On initiative count 0, John Johnson steps through the doorway and sees the unconscious body of the dwarf, and just gives Kaelin a nod. But Kaelin, a Wildstorm, you do also now hear the sounds of barking down the hall.
Yeah, I was wondering.
As I will add Roger and the wolves to the initiative.
Down, down, down.
On the
Help if I did that on the correct screen.
Just want feet. I'll go get it.
blue. Yeah, I want black.
No, that was the wrong layer. Whoops. Weird that I have the old. Oh no, I know why. So I don't know why I've got the old bar on here. It's because it's a different device. That will be why. Okay. And okay. The dwarf lady can't is unconscious. Xenophilius, it's your turn.
He's beggared off.
Oh.
Xenophilius. He's gonna jump up. When I say jump up, I mean he's going to move here.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah.
If you wanted to cast something at the guy that's still in the fight, maybe flying over the rest of the water would be a better idea, like this direction.
That'll be a great idea. Luckily,
That's not what you want to do?
that is what I want to do. Wait.
Okay. Yes, that direction.
Does it matter that I'm standing in the fire here?
So, given that you are flying over a fire in a cave, there will probably be some damage if you end your turn in that space. But if you have the movement yet, to either be next to it instead or move off it, then yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Cool. And what would you like to do?
Oh yeah. I am going to use. Oh, this is tricky. I am going to use. Oh, why is that closed? My crossbow.
Okay. So roll to hit for me.
Sorry, my app broke, so I'm gonna have to do it
Oh,
the old-fashioned way.
with physical dice.
No, not that old-fashioned.
Okay. I've
Because
been
I'm
rolling
bad.
with physical dice.
Yeah, but I've realised that I should have told you this a while ago. All of my for a while, all of my rolls were under thing because I didn't actually
What,
add.
10.
I didn't add the
Bonus.
the bonus. Yeah, which is why I kept getting bad rolls.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
good practice to get into if we ever do want to use physical dice again. But...
do I
I
take
found my
damage
physical
or
dice
light
ability.
crossbow?
yeah, if you've got light crossbow in the attack section, clicking it should just work.
Okay.
With a natural 20,
Critical.
so Xenophilius, you have this like bullet time moment of just drawing up the crossbow. You let it loose just at the right point
Well, he doesn't die.
to catch him in like the thigh at the wrong moment. It takes his leg out from under him. He slips and is knocked unconscious. Alright.
It's time to hide.
Xenophilius is going to spin the crossbow, old sort of. What's it called?
Western
Robocop
style.
way. Yeah.
What, like a gun into the holster?
Yeah.
It's a bit too unwieldy to do that, unfortunately. I would rule of cool, but physically, a big crossbow is a bit difficult to do that with.
Swing it over your head instead.
Cool. So that's your action, your movement. You don't have anything for bonus action, do you? You just said.
No.
Cool. In which case, it would have been the half-elf's turn, except it's not, because he's unconscious. Kaelin.
We've got Richard. No, Robert.
Roger.
Roger.
Roger. See him.
He's coming.
He's coming.
He's on the way.
He's coming into a room full of 3,
Xenophilius, how much health have you got?
7. No, because I'm behind everyone. I'll be fine.
I can't do anything to attack him though this time.
Yeah, but you could be in danger in the future.
But I'm not currently. How much health have you got? Answer my question.
I've got 7 health.
7. I've got full.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't say.
Right.
I do have full. That's behind.
I don't think.
I'm giving you my healing potion. I've got 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you have.
Cool.
Either way, I only have 1. You're healed.
Because you're handing it to him, I'll say it's your bonus action to do that.
Cool.
You can still do. I know you've obviously got the ability to do hide, disengage, etc. as a bonus action, but you can still do them as an action if you'd like.
I would like to hide. I'm gonna go over here in the trees.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty far. Yep. Yeah, if that's where you want to go. Make me a stealth check. 18. Pretty good.
Lovely.
Pretty good. Alright. And as you finish up your turn, the barking grows louder. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. As this guy runs around the corner. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40. 5, 10, 15, 20. As these wolves come bounding down the corridor.
They're going to pick on me because I'm a cat.
Yep. Also, you're the closest stranger. So that is as much as they can do, though, because that was dashing to get to you. Wildstorm, it's your turn.
God. Just to note, my shield's probably gone by now. It's been 10 turns.
No, it hasn't.
Is it not? Is it not my second turn
it's
around?
been like 3 turns. Remember?
Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah.
not people's
3
individual
rounds,
turns,
not
it's
turns.
rounds.
Right.
Yeah, 10 rounds for a minute.
Cool.
Alright.
Oh.
So I'll say this might be the 4th turn you've had it up. Okay?
How much movement do I get if I disengage?
If you disengage, you're full movement.
What if I disengage and use feline agility?
That doesn't cost you an action or a bonus action, does it, feline agility?
No.
No. In which case, you could absolutely use the feline agility.
So I could disengage and move double my movement.
Yes.
I'm going to do that then, I think.
Okay. Disengage. Seeing these wolves herring down the corridor, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that. Bye.
How many wolves are there? 2.
Easy, mate.
Pardon?
Easy.
Let me see the
2 that we know of.
roulette.
There might only be 2, but I'm not.
I'm going to head over there.
Okay. Okay, cool. Is there anything else?
No, I don't have any bonus action stuff, I don't think.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay. It would be Dwarven Lady. Oh no! In fact, the next step would be John Johnson, who he was trying to save it, but seeing that this is a bunch together, is going to step forward And you see this, I believe the silver dragon is a cone. Dragon.
I love that it's Vossa too.
That is what? Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like there is a spell called Dragon Breath. I just can't remember if it's on the cleric spell list. So, yeah, it's a 15-foot cone.
Good job, we moved.
That the DC is 8 plus con plus proficiency, so it would be pretty low DC. So, although that fails. That fails as well. So John Johnson steps forward and just this spray of ice and snow, this torrent, comes out of his mouth and in a cone coats these two wolves is what I'm trying to say. There we go. That's the word. And takes them both out entirely.
Yes.
Okay. So I need to do this on the correct sheet. They are both down. And as an action, he's going to call out, "Surrender, Roger. We have everyone else."
Bow, bow, bow.
What does Roger say?
Save Vancouver if you can. And he's going to step back. Right. It's going to be Kaylin next. You would have seen, Kaylin, that this cone of ice breath also affected the half-elf on the floor, who was looking pretty damaged from it. Alright.
Far can my arrows go?
What range does your bow say? It should be like 80/320 or something like that. Smaller number is how far it can go without disadvantage.
Where am I going to find that?
8320.
Do you have the bow as an attack in your main sheet in the middle?
Yeah.
It should say it there.
If
In a bracket, it should say range.
Hannah,
Or just bracket numbers in bracket.
in the chat on Roll20, if you scroll back up to where you last used it,
Oh, that too.
it literally says it in like a fainter font above where it says short bow. 80/320.
Yeah.
Alright, so you can go 80 feet without disadvantage and 320 feet total if you want to take disadvantage on the shot, basically.
Oh, he's having it.
Uh-huh.
Maybe, we'll see.
He's not having it.
It's really...
No, the arrow goes wide as you're trying to nudge round a bush to aim, and it pushes back just as you release, and the arrow clatters into the wall, clatters into another, and you hear the snapping of wood.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a permanently gone arrow, I'm afraid. On a 1. Anything else you'd like to do? No? Alright. Is Roger's turn. He's going to make a wisdom check to see if he can figure out what the best move in this situation is.
Surrender, I think.
It's not a great number, so he's going to keep fighting. He is going to pull out his scimitar. 5, 10, 15, 20. Seeing all of you, though, I'm gonna make him do another. No, he looks at you all. That was a natural 1 on his wisdom check. He looks at you all and just rages like, "You killed my wolves!" Ah! And just swings the scimitar round at John Johnson.
Oh,
That's gonna hit. Cool. But not enough to take him out. but that's a solid hit on John Johnson. You can see it like slashes down across him, and John staggers back a little bit. That's about all he can do. Wildstorm, it's your turn.
Da 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 da. I'm going to, if I click the right button, for whacking with my heavy crossbow.
Alright.
Oh yes.
That'll hit. With 4 damage.
Not much damage, though.
Okay, that's alright.
I thought it was heavy for a reason.
I can't remember what the definitions for the heavy is. Is that everything then?
Yes, yeah, I'm not going to move because then I can get my feline agility back.
Alright. Xenophilius, you are next with Kaelin on board for the next round. Or for the next turn.
I shall use very, very light crossbow attack,
Okay.
which is the same as crossbow attack.
The lightest press of the trigger he can do. 13 is still going to hit. With 7 damage. How do you want to take him down?
Yeah.
I want to shoot his leg so he can't run away, but also that means he's still fine.
Oh, he's going to fall over and hit his head.
Yeah,
Like everyone
Ah.
else.
yeah. We've just turned everyone into Buster Keaton characters, haven't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, essentially. Literally the Three Stooges.
That's a bit dated, but I think for
It's
some
a little
people.
bit, yeah, but it's fine. And with that, we are out of initiative. I did intend to give you guys a quick break, so I'm happy to give one now if you'd like one. Otherwise, it's going to be a fairly quick wrap-up for this, to be honest.
I'm happy to wrap up. If it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When I say a quick wrap-up, I mean like 15-20 minutes tops. Alright? So with this done, John will essentially take care of watching over these guys. One of you can supervise if you choose to. And just making sure that they are together, frozen. Doesn't bother with the wolves. Just the humans. Or the humanoids. And gets them all together, freezes them, and starts carting them out to the cart. Essentially. I expect you guys will want to meander around the place.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see what's in that chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one I'm next to.
Each give me an investigation check. And this will represent you searching the entire hideout. Okay. So you've got time to
19.
do it. Nice. 18.
Go on, get a 17.
You're looking forward to like a 6.
Ah.
Xenophilius.
Huh?
You are so focused on this chest. This chest is the most obvious thing in the room. It's got to be full of treasure. While the others are wandering around the rest of the caves, you are focusing on trying to get this chest open, levering it up. You find once you manage to get it open, by the time everyone else is finished searching, this is full of rations, spare cloths and rags. It's general survival supplies, unfortunately.
I don't know what you're talking about. Was rations all of that gold in my eyes? Can I pick it up?
What I'm gonna do is I'll show you guys the map at another point. But for now, you search around. You find quite a few different things tucked away, there's a big cask of ale tucked in one of the little cavern holders. Cavern holders.
Will that fit on the car?
No, it would take up the entire space of the cart. This thing is like 10 foot long, 8 foot diameter. It's a big cask of ale that evidently they've stolen off a shipping route, managed to roll down here safely, and are just topping up every so often.
Is there a cup around? A clean cup?
I mean, there's a cup. There's plenty of cups. There's water. You can wash one. Yeah, you can have a bit of ale while you search.
I'm going to pour myself a cup of ale.
Of course. I'd expect no less. But as you search, let me look about the other stuff.
Carry a bag, you silly cat.
As you look around Kaelin, you find a set of worn leather armor, 2 daggers, a pouch of 15 copper, and a winter cloak. And then Wildstorm. Your slight inebriation leads you to wander around through the rest of the cave, and you find a room that is a treasure hoard, essentially, of what looks like things they've either taken or acquired, and the current spoils they have stored here from it. You find a full total of 250 gold. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You find what looks like a short wooden rod and a needle with some runes engraved in the side. Alright.
Yep.
So if you want to note those down just however you will. But that is what you find as you look around, and that is the sum total of the treasure here. Alright. As you head out of the cave, and I'm going to turn the sound effects off for that. As you leave the cave, John Johnson is there loading the last of the people onto the cart, and Vossa is sort of supervising, making sure everyone's all right, keeping, doing medical checks. She's like, all finished in there?
All finished. It was a joy to do, I must say.
All right, we'll need to get a move back. I've checked them all over. They are fine. The elf is a little bit worse for wear, but the half elf, they're getting there. But
How is John Johnson, though?
Sorry?
How is John Johnson?
John Johnson he's holding together, but he is hurt.
Uh-huh.
You can see, though, probably a little bit begrudgingly, considering how little she trusted him before she saw the use in getting him to bring everyone out. Vossa has cast a healing spell. So where there was a gash in the clothing for John, there is not a gash underneath. Or at least nowhere near as much of one. Alright.
Awesome.
I have to thank you all. These people were not the greatest people to work for.
You came.
That's it. That's the sentence. Just leave it there. He just sort of nods.
I can't think of anything else to say.
It's the least I could do to help you keep them under wraps.
Right.
Under ice.
And with that, he essentially will spend the entire rest of the trip doing as you ask, and keeping these guys as cold as possible so that they can't react. You manage to watch over them overnight with no issue. These guys, unlike Marion, know when they're beaten.
Okay.
And you were able to take them all the way back to Etherfall.
Hey.
All right. As you get there, you can see the airship docked above on the cliff. As you're sort of coming towards town, you can see it, but obviously it's hidden by the cliff as you get into town proper. You can see the Dreadnought docked even up at the Aeronauts Guild. And as you ride into the centre of town, you, in fact, Vossa would get the stone out, the sending stone. Let's say, we're here. We've captured 3. Where do we drop them off? You hear Tenacity's voice over the other end. I'll come meet you in the town square, and we can figure out detention for them from there. Alright. It's not long before Tenacity comes along and collects them from you with a couple of guards who march them away. She's like, right, okay, so let's square up. You've done a good job. We did hear of one who passed away on the trail. That we got reports of that one.
Yes, passed away.
These people were criminals, and it is in an adventurer's line of work. I'm not going to say anything. Obviously, as a council, we'd prefer you don't do that in future, but these things happen. It's fine. I can keep it under wraps for now. At least until it's forgotten by most people. Anyway, payments. She gives you a pouch full of 1,500 gold. That's for bringing them back, including your companion Jakrakan, who she points over at John Johnson.
Jakrakan.
We will have to have some talks about your involvement in this, but we understand that you helped with the capture. We can't promise it'll be quick, but we can at least promise that you won't be incarcerated during that time as long as you don't leave the city. And he just nods and goes, I'll do whatever the council needs. So as he turns back to you, this is also for you. There's another 475 gold from, and she goes, this is from Sarah for taking the object to Wave Meet. This is the amount less the teleportation fee. All right.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And with that, I believe we are square. Spend some time relaxing. We don't have a job for you just yet, and you've obviously just done us a pretty big service for that by bringing these guys in. So have some downtime. I'll be in touch as soon as we've got some work for you.
Sounds good to me.
All right. She heads off with Jakrakan, who you knew as John Johnson, towards the council building. What would you 3 like to do from there? You now have this cart, the 2 horses, and some spare time on your hands.
We need to take the 2 horses back. Or take them to wherever the drop-off point in Etherford is.
We do, yeah.
Yeah. You pass the stable on the way in, you can take it there. Or there is one on the south of town as well.
And we need to split the gold.
So in total, you've got 1975, which you'd split between the 4 of you.
Okay.
I can't do that maths off the top of my head. It's just less than 500 each, I think.
That's 493.75.
So call it 494 each. Tenacity will just add a couple in to square up for all of you. All right. So say
Okie dokie.
494, yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie. I'll add that to Voss's sheet too. Sorry.
Sorry, our cat's
Sorry.
playing with her own.
She just caught it.
I think she looks a bit shook.
Shooketh. I need to pull up my calculator because I don't want to do this maths off the top of my head. Okay, cool. All right. Is there anything you guys would specifically like to do now that you're back in town once you've returned the horses?
Have I seen... Did Janosch come with me?
No.
So I'm gonna go on a Janosch hunt.
Okay, make me an investigation check. Or you could just wait, and obviously he would turn up eventually anyway. So
I want to be a proactive friend.
okay.
So
no, new investigation check. Sorry, I was reading your old one, thinking it was the new one.
investigation, not intimidation.
12. In a city this big, that's not high enough to find him, unfortunately, actively. But you go wandering around, see some sights of the city you hadn't seen before in your search. But unfortunately, no Janosch.
Sad times.
Wildstorm and Kaelin, is there anything you'd like to do? Just in general, now that you're back and relaxing. And you've got a ton of gold. If it's shopping, we can do that next time, or we can talk about it between sessions. So
I'd like to talk to you about some shopping options when we get a chance.
Yeah, of course.
Kaelin? There's certain things I'd like to be able to find, get, or do, but I don't know if it's possible or in budget.
Absolutely, yeah, we can have a chat about that outside a session. And Kaelin?
Do some research on some stuff.
Okay. If I could get... because you're going to have a week, roughly, before anything happens. Which you get a couple of odd jobs from the council during that time, but it'll still count as downtime. You can still do some research during that time as well. If I could get... In fact, a week in this world is 10 days, so you can do up to 10 investigation checks. It would be for you, but again, you can roll those outside a session. As long as I've got the results, I can update your sheet from there for the research, and update you next time. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So, that being said. About 10 days pass, and you get back into the rhythm of, living in the city, paying the shopkeeps, paying the barkeeps, for some of you.
Booze.
And settle down. Xenophilius, a couple of the nights of these 10, you see Janosch. Who pops in and snuggles with you for a couple of nights in that time, including the 10th night.
Yeah.
As he snuggles down. And Xenophilius.
Oh no.
As you settle down to sleep on that 10th night, Janosch nuzzled in and you fall to a slumber. You find yourself wandering. The soft crack of branch underfoot, the crisp crunch of leaves, and you begin to be aware of shapes that you're moving past. Trees with no leaves reaching out before you. A misty murk surrounding in this forest you now recognise it to be. What would you like to do?
I need to explore this forest. I need to find out where I am.
Alright. You wander further forward, and again, with every step, you hear the creaking and crunching. Until your feet start to hit wood underfoot. And you realise you're starting to walk on some of the roots of these trees. And as you start to step and navigate between them, you look up, and across a forest clearing that you are on the edge of, you see a silhouetted figure around 10 feet tall, antlers protruding from the head that point out at the end towards almost like the edges of branches, a mask-like face with a semicircular top that points downwards to a point at the bottom, fully made of wood, and the mist pulls away to reveal long, intertwined, primal-looking claw hands as this figure looks down to you. It is time, Xenophilius. I have a task for you.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Tomorrow, be at the woods at the south of your town. I will send an envoy to collect you. This
It
matter
is
discussed in person.
as you wish, my master.
And with that, the figure retreats into the mist. And as you wake up, Janosch is looking confused. Almost like he wants to dash away, but also stay in place. His body is locked and he's just eyeing you up and down.
It's all good, my dear. I just have a job to do.
No, very slowly and gingerly nuzzles back in.
I get it, because he's ginger.
And with that, we will call the end of the session, and you will all level up.
Level up.
Confused.
Uh-huh.
What are you
Backstory
doing?
time! Or at least part of it.
We'll find out next time.
I can actually do Wednesday because I've got the whole week off.
Fine.
I don't know.
I have nothing planned. I can do next Wednesday.
Yeah.
In which case it will be down to you, Tom, whether you can do next Wednesday. I was expecting to be off, but...
I can indeed do next Wednesday.
Okay. In which case, we will pick back up next week, which does mean you guys have 1 week to level up your characters. Please,
Ew.
please be in contact if you need help. I would be more than happy to put some time into helping you out with it. All right?
I will need some time with you at some point.
That's fine. We can figure that out.
We can just get together and do the level up and the shop thing at the same time.
Yep,
Get it.
absolutely. We'll figure out some time for it. All right? So, with that in mind, as these guys go up to level 3, we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.